may be taken as one. One's desire to hide his real mentality is called avahita, or concealment, and a desire to exhibit superiority is called pride. Both of these may be classified under pretension. In a pretentious attitude, both avahita and pride are to be found. One's inability to tolerate an offense committed by another is called amartia, and one's inability to tolerate the opulence of another is called jealousy. Jealousy and amartia are both caused by intolerance. One's ability to establish the correct import of a word may be called conclusiveness. And before such a conclusive determination of import, there must be thoughtful consideration. Therefore, the act of consideration is present during the establishment of a conclusion. When one presents himself as ignorant, his attitude is called humility. And when there is an absence of enthusiasm, it is called cowardice. Therefore, in humility, there is sometimes cowardice also. When the mind is steadfast, it is called enduring, and one's ability to tolerate others' offenses is also called endurance. Therefore, forgiveness and endurance can be synonymous. Anxiousness for time to pass is called impatience. And when one sees something wonderful, one is said to be struck with wonder. Impatience may be caused by being struck with wonder. And so impatience and being struck with wonder can be synonymous. When anxiety is in its dormant stage, it is called hankering. Therefore, anxiety and hankering can also be synonymous. When one becomes regretful for some offenses, his feeling is called bashfulness. In this way, bashfulness and regret can be synonymous. Doubtfulness is one of the aspects of argument. After exhibiting impudence, one becomes restless. Therefore, restlessness and impudence can be synonymous. Any question? Actually, I personally prefer to read the first part of this book because it's very basic, whereas all these later chapters are becoming more and more difficult to understand for neophytes. Somebody wants to give a comment or something?
Well, the only comment I would give is that this book is the saving grace of the devotee's devotional service. Because when we try to understand and try to apply it, then it solves a lot of problems that we may have in spiritual life, and a lot of doubts, and a lot of answers. It's amazing.
That's why in the beginning there's mention of the 64 principles of devotional service, and the whole list of offenses to be avoided. And these things actually are more practical for us, I mean, for me at least.
But the important thing about it, in my opinion, is not just to hear about it, but to try to understand and apply it in our daily life. Otherwise, just to keep it in the realm of intellectual understanding and not using it to apply it and work on ourselves, in our character and our behavior, then it's only half of the advantage.
Okay, so we continue with Srimad Bhagavatam. Where are you reading it about?
8, chapter 24, verse 53.
Can you repeat it?
8, 24, 53. 53.
Eight 24, 53.
You have it before you, sir? Not your machine? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tvam aham devavaram varenyam prapadya isham pratibodhanaya hindi Asadipai Bhagavan Vachubhir Granthim Vidayam Vivrinu Swam Oka Tvam aham deva varam varenyam Adyanisham Pratibodhanaya Vinyatadipair Bhagavan Vachobhir Rantim Kridayam Vivrinu Swamokam Tvam aham deva varam varenyam Prapadya Isham Pratibodhanaya Vinyatadipair Bhagavan Vachobhir Rantim Kridayam Vivrinu Swamokam 24
Tvam deva varam varenyam.
Tvam aham deva varam varenyam
Prapadya isham pratibodhanaya.
Prapadya Isham Pratibodhanaya
Vidyartadipai Bhagavan Vachobhir.
Vinyatadipair Bhagavan Vachobhir
Rantim Hridayam Vivrinu Swamokam.
Rantim Kridayam Vivrinu Swamokam
Varenyam Prapadya Isham. Das ist ein anderer Vers. Sorry. Tvam aham devavaram. No, it's an anderer Vers.
No, this verse, but Varenyam also in this set.
Okay, sorry, wir haben lange gebraucht und das ist falsch präsentiert, deswegen. Tvam aham devavaram varenyam.
Tvam aham deva varam varenyam
Prapadya isham prapadi bodhanyam.
Prapadya Isham Pratibodhanaya
Chindyartadipi bhagavan vachobir.
Chinyatadipair Bhagavan Vachobhir
Grantim hridayam vishnu svam okam.
Grantya Kridayam Vivrinu Swamokam Tvam aham deva varam varenyam Prapadya Isham Pratibodhanaya Chinyatadipair Bhagavan Vachobhir Granthim Hridayam Vivrinu Swamokam
Grantim hridayam vishnu svam okam.
Tvam tvam aham divavaram varenyam.
Tvam tvam aham devavaram varenyam.
Prapadya Isham Pratibodhanaya.
Prapadya Isham Pratibodhanaya.
Shindyatati Bhagavan Vachobhyam.
Shindyatati Bhagavan Vachobhyam.
Grantim Vidayam Vishnu Swamukam.
Grantim Vidayam Vishnu Swamukam. Tvam.
How exalted you are.
How exalted you are.
Tvam.
Tvam.
Unto you.
Unto you.
Aham. Myself.
Myself.
Devavaram. Worshipped by the demigod.
Worshipped by the demigod.
Varenyam. The greatest of all.
The greatest of all.
Prapadye. Fully surrendering.
Fully surrendering.
Isham. Unto the Supreme Controller.
Unto the Supreme Controller.
Pratibodhanaya.
For understanding the real purpose of life.
For understanding the real purpose of life.
Chindi.
Cut off.
Atadivai.
Atadivai.
By the light of purposeful instruction.
By the light of purposeful instruction. Bhagavan.
O Supreme Lord.
O Supreme Lord.
Vachali.
By your words.
By your words.
Grantim.
Not.
Vidayam.
Fixed within the core of the heart.
Fixed within the core of the heart.
Vivrinu.
Kindly explain.
Kindly explain.
Swamukha.
My destination in life.
My destination in life.
Translation of the verse. O Supreme Lord, for self-realization I surrender unto you. You are worshipped by the demigods as the supreme controller of everything. By your instructions exposing life's purpose, kindly cut the knot from the core of my heart and let me know the destination of my life. Purpose of Srila Prabhupada. Sometimes it is argued that people do not know who is the spiritual master, and that finding a spiritual master from whom to get enlightenment in regard to the destination of life is very difficult. To answer all these questions, King Satyavrata shows us the way to accept the Supreme Person of Godhead as a real spiritual master. The Supreme Lord has given full directions in Bhagavad Gita about how to deal with everything in this material world and how to return home, back to Godhead. Therefore, one should not be misled by so-called gurus who are rascals and fools. Rather, one should directly see the Supreme Person of Godhead as a guru or instructor. It is difficult, however, to understand Bhagavad Gita without the help of the guru. Therefore, the guru appears in the parampara system. In Bhagavad Gita 4:34, the Supreme Person of Godhead comments, Tat vidi panipatena paripashnena sevaya uparikshanti vidyanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. Lord Krishna directly instructed Arjuna. Arjuna is therefore Tattvadarshi or Guru. Arjuna accepted the Supreme Person of Godhead, Param Brahma Param Dhamma Pavitam Paramam Bhavam. Similarly, following in the footsteps of Sri Arjuna, who is a personal devotee of the Lord, one should accept the supremacy of Lord Krishna as supported by Vyasa Nivala, Asita, Narada, and later by the Acharya, Acharya, Savanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Nimbata, and Vishnu Swami. And still later by the greatest Acharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Where then is the difficulties in finding the Guru? If one is sincere, he can find the Guru and learn everything. One should take lessons from the Guru and find out the goal of life. Maharaj Satyarata therefore shows us the way of the Mahajan. One should surrender to the Supreme Personal Godhead, Dasavadana, and learn from him about the spiritual world and the goal of life. Om Madina, Should we read the words again? Pantam aham deva brahmanandam vadasyayisham parivodhanaya Chindriyata vikangaram chovi Antim viharam vivriswamukaha. O Supreme Lord, for self-realization I surrender to you. For worship by the demigods as the supreme controller of everything. For your instructions exposing life's purpose, kindly cut the knot and core my heart and let me know the destination of my life. This is a very nice verse, and a very nice purpose.
Yeah.
About the importance of the spiritual life. Tatvikanatam Sarvabhuma Vivache, Sani Sabhani Bhavishtam. Da gibt es eine sehr schöne Erklärung. Dann werden zwei Qualitäten im Englischen. So, this is a very nice verse and purport. And the essence is actually here all about the spiritual guidance. We all need spiritual guidance. The other day we were speaking about Arudha Panta or Arudha Panta. This means knowledge, two kinds of knowledge. Ascending process and a descending process of knowledge. Just like we give, in the material world, we give a lot of importance to the ascending process. Scientists, the philosophers, and whoever gives us knowledge in the material world, they're always investigating and trying to make knowledge better, more perfect. But because they have defects, the materialists people have defects. It means they have limited senses. They commit mistakes because of their limited senses. And on the basis of this limited knowledge, like an illusion, kind of imagination. And the last defect is that we all, in material life, they all have a tendency to cheat. Just like as soon as they say, I think, maybe not, they don't know. They don't admit it. They're just cheating. So when Prabhupada heard his disciples start a sentence with, I think, maybe, immediately Prabhupada called him and said, don't speculate! If you don't know, don't say. And the way, and descending knowledge is different. Just like Prabhupada is a representative of this descending knowledge. He has heard from the perfect source. Actually, the perfect source is Krishna. Krishna, Bhagavan mentions the purport here that Krishna is equipped with all the opulences, 6 different opulences. And one of the opulences is that he's full of knowledge. And unlimited knowledge, perfect knowledge. And if we want to actually understand things as they are, we depend on the mercy of such persons representing Krishna. So these two qualities I mentioned, these two qualities of spiritual master is that he has realization, deep knowledge of the Vedic scriptures. And the next thing is he is practicing or showing how to put it into practice. Acharya. Acharya. We give a lot of importance to power being the founder Acharya of our movement. That means he's not just speaking, but he's also showing us how to put it into practice, how to live it. And this is very, very important. This is the difference. When you hear from great souls, this knowledge is actually realized. That's why when Paula came to America, Paula mentioned that we had heard there were 700 who came. He came for different reasons. There's internal reasons, there's marginal reasons. Marginal reasons, for example, is that he came to propagate the Yuga Dharma, to teach us how to chant Hare Krishna, the importance of the chanting of Hare Krishna. And more internal, more confidential reasons are like that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or Krishna appeared in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to understand the love and the pure love of Radharani for him. He said, Krishna even asked himself, what is this that Radharani feeling? And she's so surrendered. So he came to taste this nectar of pure devotional service at Radharani. That means to say, devotional service on the highest level, shown by the gopis. So he came, it says that he came, there's a verse, Krishna Ranam Trisha Krishnam Samukam Kasta Parshadam Yagyai Sankirtana Prayi and it says that intelligent, the intelligent class of, the really intelligent class of people, they worship with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who came and was dancing and chanting all the time. He came in a form, it says, Krishna. The meaning of the word Krishna is also dark. Dark. That means he came as Krishna, not dark. Because he manifested the form of Radharani, golden. Sometimes also said yellow, but golden. Just like we have here, that very beautiful picture, the Panchatattva. And the Shastra says Chaitanya Chaitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavat, we get very detailed descriptions of the form of the Lord. For example, it says that he was very big, Chaitanya was very big. And he was extremely beautiful. His hands went down to the knees. So when people saw Chaitanya, they were astounded. Who's this? He was so extremely beautiful. Just like when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Puri. He had just taken sannyas, and there had been a problem. He just took sannyas. And Nityananda didn't like this very much, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taken sannyas. Because he understood who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was. And he didn't think it was necessary for him to practice austerities like sannyas. So they were traveling with him, and at one point Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to take a bath. He entrusted the danda to Nityananda. And when he came back after his bath, he couldn't find the danda anymore. And then he asked, where's my danda? And Nityananda said, I broke it into pieces and threw it into the river. Anyway, so when Chaitanya heard that, actually this all had purpose because he was supposed to teach everyone how to execute devotional service properly. And part of this was also to take sannyas, to show the world what it actually means to take sannyas. Because the Mayavadi sannyasis, Mayavadis also take the sannyas. They take the ekadanda, not tridanda. They only have one stick. Whereas the Vaishnava sannyasi carry 3 sticks and a little bit, small one. Representing body, mind, and words. Anyway, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was angry with his followers. They had done this. And he didn't want to travel with them anymore. So he traveled and came to reach Puri, Puri temple, like the origin of the traveling deities. And so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just walked into the temple. We cannot do this, at least as long as we're white, or apparently not Indian or Hindus, anyway. So he went right into the temple and went up to the altar. And when he saw the Jagannath Devi, he fell into ecstasy, fell on the floor. And at that point, there were some guards in the temple. So they thought, oh, he's putting himself to sleep in front of the altar. This is an offense. So they wanted to grab him and throw him out of the temple. But there was also Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya who was present in the temple. And he had observed the sannyasi coming in. And he was impressed, such a beautiful sannyasi, and so young. Normally you take sannyas after vanaprastha, at the last part of your life, not young. And so he was very impressed. What is this? A young sannyasi, and so beautiful. And he thought, this sannyasi will have a lot of problems because he's so beautiful and young. So then he saw how the guards were almost throwing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu out. So he immediately interfered. He said, no. And because he was Sarvabhauma, he was the pandit of the court, or part of the ruler, not the king. I say, yeah. And it says that Sarvabhauma was very famous. From all parts of India, people would come, young people would come to study under him, the Vedanta Sutra. Anyway, so he read about this, he had read in the Shastras about that, but he had never seen this. Notice he was very inquisitive, wanted to study it more closely. So he told the guards, bring him to my home, so I can study him. Study him, I said, investigate him closely. So they took him to Sarvabhauma home, and he did some examinations. One was that it appeared that he was dead. So in order to see actually he was still alive, so he got some cotton and put it in front of his nostrils. And he saw that actually he was breathing, but very, very slow, almost nothing. So you conclude, oh, he was alive. And then he didn't do what to do. But in the meantime, his followers had come to the temple. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's followers, Nityananda and all the rest of them, had come to the temple. And when they arrived there, everyone was speaking about the sannyasi who had come, who had fallen down from the altar, and how Sarvabhauma had taken him to his home like this. And the devotees knew, they had experience with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being falling into ecstasy, retrieving his external consciousness. So they knew how to bring him back. So he really went there to the house of Sarvabhauma and made a heavy kirtan. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came back to external consciousness. And then there's also in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it said, I don't remember the name. There was one devotee who started preaching to Sarvabhauma, and he should surrender to the lotus feet because this was actually Supreme Personality of God. But he was very skeptical. But he felt compassion with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Why? Because he was so young. As a sannyasi and so beautiful. So he thought he would have problems. I better educate him properly. So he made his offer. I will teach you Vedanta Sutra. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted. Then it says in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sarvabhadracharya, let him have him sit on an elevated seat. Because he was a sannyasi. So he took a very humble position and started teaching him. And for 7 days he was giving his comments and speaking and speaking and speaking. And he couldn't figure out why this student didn't ask any question. Because these explanations were not easily understood. And then in the end he said, "Do you have any questions?" And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I know the Vedanta Sutra. The Vedanta Sutra is like the sun. It enlightens, like the sun. But your commentaries are like the clouds covering the sun.
Yeah.
And Sarvabhadracharya has never heard this before. He became very offended. So he turned around and said, "Okay, let's hear your commentary," he said. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started giving his explanation to the Vedanta Sutra, they couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe it. Wow. And sooner or later they came to the conclusion, this must be the original author of the Vedanta Sutra. That means Srila Vyasa, Krishna, God. So then in the end he surrendered and fell flat in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then he was just a big learned scholar. So immediately he composed 100 shlokas glorifying the Lord. And there's one verse, I don't know the exact translation, but it was one. Vairagya Vita Niravakti Yoga, Shikshat Kamargam Purana, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Sharidadari, Sri Manipuru Yasvaham. That means, he's glorifying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, saying, actually this person is the supreme person of God, who came to teach us real knowledge and real renunciation. Real renunciation. Actually, this is very important. Because so many people have given their explanations about their knowledge, their interpretation, and their form of austerity. Like, for example, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing on the street, Mayavadi, they would criticize him. What is this? He's sentimental. Yeah, he's a sentimental person. He's dancing and singing in the street. How can he be a sannyasi? Okay, their concept is to sit down and just read Vedanta Sutra, be serious, discuss with all the other Mayavadis like that. And practice austerities, all kinds of, live poorly, hardly eat anything like that. But actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu presented a different way. Our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, coming in line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, taught us the same, like I mentioned yesterday. Prabhupada said this Krishna conscious movement is based, and the practice is based on chanting Hare Krishna, dancing, and taking prasad. This is what Prabhupada taught us in the beginning. And gradually we also became acquainted with the philosophy, we understood the philosophy. But this is not very easy to understand, not very easy to understand, unless you become purified. And the process of purification is sankirtan. Especially these three principles: chanting Hare Krishna, dancing, getting up and dancing. Sometimes when we visit the temples, often we see devotees and Mangalari like standing there like columns, like this column, and not moving at all. You have an example here. What is it? dancer.
Dancer, yes.
Yeah, dancer. He moves. It's very important to get people moving, showing them how to dance, how to make the step, the Swami step, we call it. Like many times at the end of our programs, we teach people how to chant Hare Krishna. We first teach them the mantra, then we teach them how to clap their hands. Then we ask them, get up please, and stand up and make a step. One there, one there, one there, one there. So now you combine all this. And then they actually start dancing, and you can, naturally they start smiling, they like it. This is our process. Taught by Srila Prabhupada. Anyway, so and at the end here, the verse it also says, the prayer saying, please Krishna, kindly cut the knot from the core of my heart and let me know the destination of my life. This is very nice explaining it. Is it about here? About here? Yeah. 7 lines. Seven one. Jetzt wird in Deutsch lesen.
Ja, okay.
So Prabhupada is quoting 5 very important verses from the first canto. Second chapter, first canto. Srinvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shavana Kirtana Viriyantasto Havadani Viduloki Suritsatam Nashta Prayesha Vadeshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavad Gita Mashunke Bhakti Bhavad Tada Rajastamo Bhavat Kamarupadayaschaye Cheta Itairana Bhidham Sitam Sattva Sidati Evam Prasanda Manaso Bhagavata Gita Bhagavata Pavijnana Mukta Sangha Sachayate Vidyate Ridaya Kantishtiyamti Sarva Samshaya Yanti Chastakarani Krishna Vishvame. Oh, it's English. To hear about Krishna from Vedic literatures, or to hear from him directly through the Bhagavad Gita, is itself righteous activity. And for one who hears about Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is dwelling in everyone's heart, acts as the best wishing friend and purifies the devotee who constantly engages in hearing about him. In this way, a devotee naturally develops his dormant transcendental knowledge. As he hears more about Krishna from the Bhagavatam and from the devotees, he becomes fixed in the devotional service of the Lord. By development of devotional service, one becomes free from the modes of passion and ignorance, and thus material lust and avarice are diminished. When these impurities are wiped away, the candidate remains steady in its position of pure goodness, becomes enlivened by devotional service, and understands the signs of God perfectly. Thus, Bhakti Yoga severes the hard knot of material affection, enables one to come at once to the stage of Asamshayam Samadham, understanding of the Supreme Absolute Personality of God. Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, 17 to 21st verse. Why I read that? Because it says here, the Bhakti Yoga severes the hard knot of material affection and enables one to come at once to the stage of Asamshayam Samadham, understanding of the Supreme Absolute Personality of God. Yeah. Any questions?
This hard knot in the heart is quite a the hard knot in the heart. We've been spending the past, 2.5 years daily talking about this.
Yeah,
Yes.
very
Yes.
good. Can you talk about that?
Excuse me?
Huh?
Ich habe nicht verstanden.
Very good that you talk about that.
Yes, yes. We are a small group of devotees, 2, 3 persons, sometimes 4. But every day we have our morning program like we do now. And the hard knot of the heart, I think, is the topic that comes up the more often. That's how to, and then a conclusion is either we voluntarily give this hard knot up and surrender to Krishna, or because we have prayed when we joined, we have prayed to Krishna, I want to know you, I want to come close to you, I want to serve you. But in due course of time we forget that we have asked him to do that we have asked him to reach a certain goal. So when we forget to voluntarily work on it on a daily basis, to cut this hard knot of the heart, then eventually Krishna, because he never forgets, this is the story of the Parajita flower that he promised to his wife, and he's prepared, Parijata flower, that he is prepared even to declare war to the world just to follow his promise. So Krishna is not shying any methods how to clear the knot in our heart. And for us, it can be devastating, but we asked him to please do that. And Krishna, and either we voluntarily surrender or he gives us hard opportunities to surrender.
Yeah, here it says, thus Bhakti Yoga severes the heart knot of material affection and enables one to come at once to the stage of asansayam and samadhi.
And to achieve this, he is not shy of using all kinds of methods for us to help us do this. And the reason why I'm saying this is because, as I just said before, for 2.5 years we have been talking about this. You allow me to?
Yeah, of course.
Because when Marjani came here, she was a new devotee, and we were talking about this on a daily
Where is she
basis.
from? Where are you from?
Ukraine.
Ukraine. Oh, very good.
So she was telling us, and said, my heart is so hard, I cannot understand, I've come from a Christian background, it's so difficult. So every day we had opportunities to talk. And then I used to say to us, all of us, including to myself, that either we surrender voluntarily or Krishna is going to come and do something that is going to crush this knot by force. And you will have to surrender, because if you don't surrender, you go crazy or you jump out the window, because if you don't, right? So Krishna is not shy to fulfill our request to help us to cut the knot of this heart and then do whatever is necessary to bring this about. And we have experienced quite a few things that happen that is confirming this, what we are talking about, and why I'm bringing this up again. Just recently with Mother Bhakti Anna, Krishna is testing her very hardly by the loss of her son, who passed away just 10 days ago. And luckily, by Krishna's grace, and I'm here, thank you to Krishna and all the devotees present, she has been part of a lot of this conversation that we've had, and that makes it able for us, for her, even though to be in Trawa, mourning, and it was a shock for her, for me, for everyone, that she is able to actually keep a level-headed situation even though her heart is broken. We call it broken heart. What does it mean? The knot, the hard knot of the heart is smashed, broken. It makes it soft and open and big to accept Krishna's love and Krishna's service and devotees. And this is what has to happen to all of us to break this hard knot, as it says there. And we have asked, by joining this movement, we have asked Krishna to help us to do this. This was so important sentence amazingly important sentence. Because if this doesn't
When
happen,
somebody dies as a devotee or related to devotees, actually everything becomes better after his life.
yes, exactly.
The only ones who are suffering are us because we're attached.
Yes, exactly.
But actually when somebody died, even Prabhupada said that all our family members, they also become dear to Krishna. Just like Hiranyakashipu. He was liberated by being killed by
Yes.
Nrsimha.
So if you allow me to say a couple more sentences about this incident, like for example, we were talking yesterday, Maharaj, you were talking about the Pope, right? So the Pope, for me, this particular one in particular, was kind of important to me personally because before I came to Krishna consciousness or in my development to Krishna consciousness, I had a strong, in my search, relationship to Saint Francis of Assisi. You know, that personality kind of was concerning me because of spiritual matters. So when he gave himself this name of Saint Francis, you know, I felt like a connection and like that. So anyway, then he passed away just 10, 12 days ago, or what this was. And the whole world, even other religious leaders, Muslims, anyone, they are all praying for the Pope. They all came to see him, to visit him, to verabschieden. Huh? The whole world was busy with this. So this means the whole world is in prayer. The whole world is doing something. And this boy passed away in that period of time. So it is carrying all the people that are somewhat have faith or contact with God consciousness or searching, it carries all of them to go actually one step further in their spiritual life. And we thought that this was quite wie sagt man, beruhigend, calming, and our faith also is being carried by this, to see that this person who is so close to us, this boy was here just recently also, one time, and he was here dancing, chanting Hare Krishna. He is, wie sagt man, behindert, oder? Ja? Ja? Ist das das richtige Wort? Ja, der war ein behindertes Kind, behindert, handicapped child.
And autismus.
Yeah, so he was not like a normal growing up child. But she said, everywhere he go, he is embracing all the people, embracing them everywhere. And in the school where he's missing now, they all have put up an altar and they're missing him because every day he was come and hug the teacher and hug. So we can see these are special souls, maybe, who knows, yogis or devotees or who knows who they are, who fell, made a thing, and then this happened, they were born like this in a family where the mother is a devotee and trying hard to be a devotee, and then passing away at a time when the Pope is passing away, and everybody is praying for the welfare of the Pope and all these things. So for us, for me at least, this is a clear understanding of this sentence here, that Krishna is breaking the hard nut of the heart. And he is not shying, using methods to make it happen. And as Maharaj, you said just now, that everybody is profiting from it. All of us who are profiting, family members are profiting, the whole world is profiting from it. Amazing.
Yeah, if you die as a child, that means this is your time, the resting time you had.
Yes.
To comply something, there was
Yes.
something,
To finish up something.
yeah,
Yeah.
finish up something from
Yeah.
before.
So,
But we have the same in Iskconw. The temple president, he had a daughter,
yes,
and she was born completely, I don't know
Yeah.
how you say.
Mm.
yeah, same.
Couldn't even speak, nothing.
Yeah.
and was very, very fortunate.
Yeah.
Even though she was in a body like that, but her parents were devotees.
Yes.
And even in that condition, every day they brought her down, in the morning for the program. They just put her there.
Yeah, yeah.
And she was just hearing and
Yes, Yes, of course.
and she left after a very short time.
Yeah.
That means that she had just a rest of something to
Yeah, to
comply.
finish up, yeah.
Very fortunate to be born in a family of devotees, being with devotees. She was just living on the other side of the street of the temple.
And fortunate for the parents,
Yeah.
because the pain, because material attachment is there, it's normal. And by this attachment, they become also purified by the loss of this child, and the heart is crushed open. It's like cutting open. And then the other, in my opinion, is that we have to do everything to avoid that the heart is closing up again. But to keep it open and to use this wonderful, even though there's so much pain, to use the wonderful opportunity to keep the heart open, to let it grow, and to become advanced in Krishna consciousness, and let Krishna enter. So this is wonderful. This is why I say this sentence is, for me, makes my hair like this.
Do this. Agenda.
Yes, I remember there is another description about the heart in the scriptures, that when one doesn't come to the point of shedding tears, then it is called, during the chanting of the Maha Mantra, then it is called that the heart is steel framed. Maybe you could say something about this.
The heart is still?
Steel framed.
Still.
Steel framed.
Still framed.
Framed, yeah.
Ah, still framed.
How did you come to this thing?
Yeah, it is very often in my mind. So very often I reflect
Steel.
myself and say,
Metal.
but you are chanting so long the Maha Mantra, but where is your attachment to the mantra? So
You're
wow.
still here.
Yes?
Yes, okay, I'm
You're
still
still
here.
chanting Hare Krishna. You appreciate the association of the devotees. You love to read Prabhupada books. You know so much of Prabhupada books. How can you say that you don't feel anything?
I feel always a lack of attachment in my heart.
Yeah, but this is more Trinadapi Sunicina. It's more like your humbleness. This is actually the sign of progress in Krishna consciousness. When a devotee advances in Krishna consciousness, he feels more and more insignificant, more and more disqualified. Doesn't like when others glorify him or her.
May I say something today?
Yeah.
My answer for this is, you have a cup. There's water in the cup. And you can see there's so much water in the cup, or so much no water in the cup. Right? So there's a way of looking at it. So on one side is a humbleness, of course, because you can never be able to say, oh, now I've got it all. So, but at the same time, it's also important to see how much water there is already in the cup. Like Maharaj answered, that was his answer to you. You're chanting, you're knowing the philosophy, you're preaching so many years, so this is the water in the cup. And then the loss that we feel for the missing, we have to work on it and fill the cup more and more and more and more and more and more. This means you're aware that for all of us, we know compared to 50 years ago, we did make a little bit of advancement. But compared,
If you compare your life from before
yes,
and now, you made progress.
yes,
You have to admit
exactly.
Yes, it is.
But if you compare to the goal to be achieved, there's a big gap, yes. But the point is, for the little bit of advancement we made, we have to develop that more and more, and we have to stop looking. And if we look at the gap, yes, but what to do about it, not just look at it and meditate. That's a bit an answer to his question yesterday, because he said the thoughts are always thinking about it, how do you get rid of it? You know, well, first of all, you have to realize that you're stuck there. But then you have to say, okay, I'm stuck, like the car is broken, what do? I go to the mechanic and fix it. So think about how to fix this, how to make the next step of progress and work on that. It's our duty, in my opinion, to see it, the lack, and then do something about it. And it's possible, because we see so many great devotees like the Maharaj, they all are leaders, all this. They are working on themselves, they are making progress. Like we make the progress since start until now. So just to lament is okay, but just to lament is not okay.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else?
I don't understand why the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was fell down in front of the deities Jagannath, because how I understand he was also in another temple and he seen the Krishna before, but when he's come in this temple, he's just fell down. Why is happening in these particular deities? Maybe,
Ecstasy.
I don't ask myself that question. I just accept what is going on. Extraordinary. No, these deities are very
Extraordinary
extraordinary,
ecstasy.
very special. And he was so, it says that when he was participating in the Bhakti Yatra, Jagannath was so impressed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the way he danced and everything, like, they stopped the car. And then we were started pushing it, but they couldn't move it. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just tipped it and it went again. That's a special rasa that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had with the beauty.
I remember just in a philosophical reflection, so that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in the mood of the Mahabharata of Srimati Radharani. So he saw Krishna in the temple, he visited Krishna, and he was feeling in ecstasy. So he lost consciousness. And that happens very much and later on very often, and the devotees always has to recover him by chanting loudly Hatha Mahamantra.
not only one time, so
Yeah, that's not happened once. That was the first time that it happened so openly.
Obviously, yeah.
And that, but later on it happened all again.
Yeah. This is actually Chaitanya Charitamrita is a special mood. And the Chaitanya Bhagavat tells us much more about the ecstatic symptoms of Chaitanya. He was falling all the time, and he was crying all the time, and the Chaitanya Charitamrita is more. There's more emphasis in the preaching and the distribution and all that. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu traveling for 6 years preaching, converting so many people to Vaishnavism. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he not only fell, and also foam coming out of his mouth.
Yeah.
And this symptoms is the external symptom that can be seen externally. The body is lying down on the floor, and it looks like he's sleeping, or maybe he died. Yeah? That's the interpretation. But what's going on, because where he is, that's another thing that cannot be seen by us.
Yes, he showed all this mood of what the Goswamis are always telling about, the Vipalamba Seva. So he's not with Krishna. Where's Krishna? Where's Krishna?
Yeah, the intense feeling of separation. which is described as the most elevated. No? Like I heard a clap of Baba said, the Goswami said, I saw Krishna. No, they were always suffering the separation from Krishna. Baba, no? It is more intense than the meeting. But the meeting, you can see that also in our relationships. Somebody comes, and we might have felt a lot of separation before, but when the person's there, after a while, they won't come to the class or something. And then again, he's leaving. Oh, everyone is saying, wow. In the beginning, everyone is there, getting garlands and all that. And then again. When they come in back, when they come in.
Yeah, and then you ask, well, where are you? Why? They ask, even me, they said, why don't you invite such and I said, hey, I invited, where are you? Here, the person is here, where are you?
Yeah, this is the feeling of separation. It's the most intense expression. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed us. Where's Krishna? Where's Krishna? Yeah. Like he said, when he became initiated, he came back to his home. He started asking Mother, where's Krishna? Where's Krishna? Where's Krishna? Where's Krishna? Have you seen Krishna?
Another thing is, I think it was Maharaj Yudhishthira, if I don't mistake. Maybe it was someone else, but for some reason, I have Maharaj Yudhishthira. He personally saw Krishna face to face, and then eventually he had to go. So now what happens to a person who saw Krishna face to face and then is separated from him? What is he going to do? Because according to our understanding, the success of his life has happened. He has seen Krishna face to face, but then he's leaving. What is he going to do? So as far as, like I said, I'm not sure if it was Maharaj Yudhishthira or not, but then he left, and the description is, then he will go and walk. He has a stick and walk and just meditate on Krishna in separation, because he just saw him and he has to leave, and he will just meditate all the time on Krishna in separation, and that will intensify his relationship to Krishna as even more than when he saw him face to face.
Yeah, Narayana Muni also, wasn't he?
Narayana Muni, yes, after
And Krishna told him, and you will not see me again.
And Sri Shastaka, Lord Chaitanya said, even if you handle me roughly, or you never see me, I never see you before me, I will always be your worship. Das ist Sri Shastaka, Lord Chaitanya said.
Hey Rade, Fracedevike, Chalalite, hey Nanda Sonobuddha. Das sagt Goswami Iskconw. Wo seid ihr? Seid ihr am Vamsivat, seid ihr am Govardhan, an der Yamuna? Wo seid ihr? Wir finden euch nicht.
Ja, das ganze ISKCON ist alles Expression of separation.
Ja.
Wir müssen abschließen, weil die Devotees kommen gleich, wir müssen noch frühstücken.
Organisator,
Ist das okay? Danke. Vielen Dank, Maharaj.
Shri Maharaj Ki
Jai.
His Holiness Bhakti Bhushana Swami Ki
Jai.
Shri Maharaj Ki
Jai. Danke, dass du gekommen bist und uns diese Zeit schenkst. Vielen, vielen Dank.